You know what I need? A cool nickname, like CNC Music Factory. No, that's not cool. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has been a member of Congress for less than a month. At this time last year, no one outside of New York City, and even lots of people inside New York City, had literally never heard of her, which is what makes this fact all the more incredible. In a late January CNN poll, almost 6 in 10 Americans not only know her name, but also have an opinion about her. That opinion is slightly negative. 27% of people have a favorable view of the new New York Congresswoman, while 32% have a negative view. But that's not the real story. The real story is that a 29-year-old first-time candidate who was running as a Democratic socialist against the man many saw as a future Speaker of the House has rapidly become one of the most recognizable faces in the Democratic Party nationally. Now think about these numbers. 41% of people say they either have never heard of AOC or don't know enough about her to have an opinion. In that same CNN poll, 28% of people said they either hadn't heard of Mitch McConnell or didn't know enough about him to offer an opinion. Mitch McConnell is the freaking Senate Majority Leader. He has been in the Senate since 1984. If you turn on cable TV for an hour on any day of the week, you should do that, by the way, you have a decent chance of either seeing or hearing or both McConnell. And yet, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is within shouting distance of McConnell when it comes to how many people know her. Or look at this another way. Stacey Abrams was one of the shining Democratic stars of the 2018 election. Running to be the first African-American female governor in the country, Abrams came within a hair's breadth of winning in the reddish state of Georgia. So popular was Abrams among the Democratic base that congressional Democrats asked her to deliver the Democratic response to Trump's State of the Union address. Given Abrams' high profile, she must be nearly as well known as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right? Wrong. Sorry, that was a little harsh. 6 in 10 people in the CNN poll had never heard of Abrams or didn't know enough to offer an opinion about her. So, how the heck did AOC get to this point? And more importantly, what will she do now? All right, the first question is easier to answer, so I'm going to try and answer that one first. Ocasio-Cortez's win over then-Congressman Joe Crowley was national news, and her stunned reaction to her victory went viral, which, had it ended there, would have made a nice story. But it would not have turned a freshman member from a safely Democratic seat in a largely Democratic state into a national superstar. Of course, it didn't end there. Ocasio-Cortez's victory became, for liberals, a rallying point, a tangible sign that voters in the Democratic base weren't just fed up with Republicans, but also were sick of lots of their own members and their own party establishment too. Crowley was a symbol of the status quo and compromise-driven politics. AOC was new blood, using confrontation as political strategy and saying exactly what she thought, no matter the supposed political consequences. Now, even as AOC was becoming a hero to the liberalist left, she was becoming a villain to conservatives around the country. Sidebar, which came first, the liberal love or the conservative hate? Chicken and the egg, my dude. For conservatives, Ocasio-Cortez's unapologetic embrace of democratic socialism, her support for hugely high tax rates on the very wealthy, and her backing of Medicare for all made her the poster child for what they believe the disastrous future Democrats want. Now, that Ocasio-Cortez is, in her 20s, is a Latina, and maintains a hugely active social media presence, all serve to further fuel the fires on the left and the right about her. And yet, here we are, a 29-year-old freshman member of Congress known by 60% of the total population, with very strong views held about her on both sides of the political aisle. Okay, so now for the tougher question. What does AOC do next? It's actually easier to answer what she probably won't do next. She's very, very unlikely to moderate her views or worry too much about the fact that she has become the latest Republican boogie woman. She's also not going to play the traditional role of a newly elected member of Congress, sort of sit and watch while the more experienced members, handle things. After Ocasio-Cortez's election, and even before she took the oath of office, she participated in a sit-in at Nancy Pelosi's office aimed at convincing the speaker to take action on climate change. Not exactly a shy and retiring move. Ocasio-Cortez has also drawn considerable attention for her promotion of what she calls a Green New Deal, which she has promised will be, quote, national, social, industrial, and economic mobilization at a scale not seen since World War II, end quote. Now, she's expected to introduce that legislation in the House in mid-February. Already, some Democrats are talking about Ocasio-Cortez as a potential presidential candidate. There's just one problem with that. She won't be eligible to run for that office for another 6 years. You have to be 35. Now, predicting what will happen 6 years in the future is a fool's errand. And I am no fool. At least not today. And that is the point. We do this every week, twice. Check back every Tuesday and Thursday for new episodes.